So, you've started to try to learn Swedish, but you don't know where to start. First off, there are different letters in Swedish than there are in English. We have 3 extra letters, those being Å, Ä, and Ö. Now, to remember how these are spelled, just fucking remember it and then learn. It's really easy. It's just an A with a circle above it, an A with 2 dots over it, or in this case 2 lines, because that's how you typically write it, and an O with 2 lines over it, because that's just how it is. So just learn it and be good at it. So these letters have different pronunciations depending on if they are short. No, that's long. Depending on if they're long or short. So, in a word like, I was going to say something weird. Never mind. We'll take this. This means honor. Like, honor, we are Vikings. Wow. I cannot spell. Honor. There we go. Honor. Honor. This is a good word in Swedish. You need to say this all the time. Not honor, but ära. 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 To be fair, I'm not Swedish. I'm half Danish because I live in Scania. But if you want to pronounce it like a real Viking and not those fucking northern ones, which are probably more Viking than me, but anyway, it's pronounced ära. Ära. Om du har någon fucking ära så har du ingen själ i kroppen alltså. I alla fall. Ära. Honor. So this is a long ä. It's pronounced ä. While if you write a word like this word, which means bed, which is also a useful word in Swedish, I suppose, the ä is pronounced like a Swedish e. Actually, a lot of kids spell it like this because they're dumb. So this word is ära, and this word is säng. Not säng, but säng, like an e, not an ä. So this is long ä, this is the other thing, short ä. So this is something to remember. Ära, säng. Usually short letters occur when there are 2 consonants after the vowel, because only vowels can be short or long, I think. I don't know the proper word for it, but it's the easiest way to explain it to someone who doesn't really know a lot about linguistics, so just bear with me. So that's the middle letter. We do not take them in order because we are too cool for that. So the first letter is this. We have already taken this one. The second letter we can take Å. Å is never, ever written like this. Never, ever, ever. It's always a circle. If you write a dot, it's wrong. It doesn't matter how small the circle is. If it looks like a dot, it's wrong. If you want to write it correctly, you always do a circle. How ugly it can be when you first start to write it. It's a circle, or it's not an Å. Å is a very cool letter, I think, because there's not a lot of languages that have it. I don't think there's like more than the Scandinavian languages that have it, actually. So I'm pretty proud about that. Anyway, so Å is pronounced a lot like an O in some cases, in Swedish then. Like the word sova. This is the correct spelling, but kids often spell it like this, because these are pronounced the same. Sova, sova. But this is wrong. This is wrong. I'm just demonstrating how they are often confused together because they are pronounced pretty much the same. Å has 2 different ways to be pronounced, depending on length. So the long one and the short one. This is Å, and this is Å. I do not have an example right now because I did not think ahead. But yeah, it's pronounced like those 2. Oh yeah, I have actually a demonstration. So the word stå, which means stand, uses a long one, and the word stått, which means to have stood, uses a short å because there are two consonants afterwards, so it's stått and not ståt. This is not ståt, that's very wrong. It's stått. And sometimes people probably accidentally spell it like this. That's wrong. It's an å, not an o. Once again, they can get confused sometimes. It's not an o, this is wrong. But yeah, stått versus stå. You hear how this is longer than this one. Stå, stått, stå. And then we have the last letter, I think a lot of foreigners and a lot of Swedish people think is a very ugly sound. It's basically the sound you make before puking. It's It's also the sound people in Sweden do instead of the English version. Or we say yeah, we actually do. There's a lot of people that say instead, like between sentences and stuff. So I just did actually. I just said Anyway, is actually a word in itself. This is how the word for island is spelled. It's a long because there isn't two letters next to it, which is a general rule you can use if you're learning Swedish, that the short vowels usually only occur when there are two vocals after. No, not vocals. I'm very tired. Two consonants, I mean, afterwards. So, in a word like it's a long one. In a word like this, it's a short one. So it's means island, and trött, or trött, I guess, if you're not cool, half Danish Swede like me. And this means tired. So yeah, I'm not gonna apologize for my handwriting, because if you can't write it, or if you can't read it, you're either dyslexic or just illiterate, I guess. So yeah, the first one, means island, and trött means tired. I cannot speak standard Swedish, so if you're a standard Swede, or a person speaking standard Swedish listening to me try to pronounce these, you're probably like cringing, because I probably am as well when I'm looking back at this, but it's not my natural way of speaking. I would say and trött, because I am from the south. I'm not actually from like a Swedish speaking place. I'm from a place that speaks Scanian, which is a form of Swedish, but still. Which is my excuse. That's like what I'm talking about during half this video, that I'm half Danish. Which, I mean, technically I'm not, but you know. So, remember, å is always with a circle, which you can remember because it sounds like an O. Ära versus säng, and versus trött. Stå versus stått. So if you see here, there are two T's in both of these instances. They can be like, I don't know, they can be anything. They don't have to be T's. They can be any consonant. If you don't know the difference between vowels and consonants, I advise you to like either Google or go back to school, because that's like sort of the foundation of a language, at least in writing. So yeah, this is just a little demonstration about how to pronounce some Swedish stuff. This is not meant to actually educate people, because I don't think people will actually understand unless they're like really fucking smart. Because I'm not really fucking smart. So yeah, thank you.